Welcome to Groundbreakers. I am your host, Nick Stilo, and my co-host, Joe Villar.
Welcome, everyone.
And for anybody that does not know us, my name, again, is Nick Stilo. I am the Principal and Chief Operating Officer of One Urban.
And I am Joe Villar, Chief Financial Officer at One
And this
Urban.
is our inaugural podcast. I'm actually really excited to get in front of all of you. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. So why Groundbreakers?
There's a need for it, I think, in the podcast world to have developers like us reveal to everyone out there what it feels like to be in the development world.
Well, so for anybody that does not know One Urban, we are real estate developers, and our primary focus is on real estate development. So unlike the majority of podcasts that you see out there that are mortgage brokers and real estate agents, we are coming from the angle of the real estate developer. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel empowered to be able to share our experiences as land developers to everyone.
Yeah, because a lot of people that really don't understand what we do.
That's right.
You go and tell somebody you're a developer, and they're typically asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. And developers, for the most part, don't have a very good rap out there.
No. And why do you think that is?
I think has a lot to do with the media and how the media portrays developers at the end of the day.
Well, there are some bad developers out there.
There are.
And there are a lot of good developers out there.
Absolutely.
Just like in any industry, you've got good apples and bad apples.
That's right.
So a little bit about One Urban. We are a family-run and operated development company that started in 2016. We started with 430 ESSA condos that we registered and completed almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah. Man,
and
time flies, eh?
Since then, we've changed our focus to purpose-built rental buildings, and for the foreseeable future, our trajectory is all purpose-built rental buildings. In fact, the goal is to have 1,000 units under ownership in the next 5 years.
It's a pretty ambitious goal.
Not so much when you think that we'll be halfway there in about 3.
Still ambitious goal.
I'm a pretty ambitious guy.
You are.
We have well, first of all, I'm the producer of the show, so welcome everyone. We also have a property called Old Bronte Road. Why are you guys looking at me like that?
You want to follow that up with something?
Yeah, I am very interested to know what exactly is it and what's the future goals with that?
So Old Bronte Road is our first purpose-built rental building. It is a boutique mid-rise mixed-use building in South Oakville. It stands 8 stories tall with a rooftop terrace on the 9th floor, 3 levels of underground parking with 131 residential units and 4 retail units at the ground floor. We're actually really excited about this building. It's our first purpose-built.
Yeah, it's going to be cutting edge. It's going to have a lot of smart technology in the building.
It is very cutting edge. It is a smart building. Maybe we should talk a little bit about why it's cutting edge and smart. So I'd love to share about the environmental cutting edge technology in this building. The building employs geothermal technology. And for all of you guys that don't know what geothermal technology is, imagine that the ground beneath the building is like a big battery. And in Southern Ontario, the ground heats up to, on average, 14 to 15 degrees Celsius year long. So what geothermal does is it uses boreholes that go down, in the particular case of Old Bronte, 650 feet into the ground, where there are loops of multiple boreholes
Or pipes.
that go down 650 feet, where cold water is sent in from the top at surface level, travels down 650 feet, and then it loops and makes its way back up. When it makes its way back up, it comes back hot. And when it comes back hot, that heat then goes through a heat exchanger, which then converts that into either cooling or heating for the winter. So effectively, you're using the natural resource of the heat in the ground to heat and cool the building, which is a phenomenal technology. And it's not even a new technology, really. It's about 70 years old.
Absolutely. It's been around for a while.
And a lot of people still haven't jumped on board with geothermal. We're just starting to see it now.
We're starting to see it now, yeah.
But we were designing geothermal 5 years ago.
That's right.
And when we were just designing geothermal, people were asking, why?
Yep.
And the answer is simple.
Yep.
The resource is there. Why not use it?
It's sustainable.
Absolutely. We can run this building for the entire life of the building without having to use natural gas or electricity to heat the building. And on top of that, we are saving 2 million liters of water a year. We are reducing our carbon footprint by 66%. and we're reducing the energy of the building by 46.5% over the comparable building that is not geothermal. These are great numbers.
Absolutely.
So you're telling me that this building right here can run solely without any of the conventional energy needed?
It can run its heating and air conditioning. Yes. So if you're an occupant in this building and you live in your unit and you're turning on your heat in the wintertime, you're not using any natural gas. We are not drawing natural gas from the municipality. We are not drawing any electricity from the municipality. And on top of that, we're saving on average of 2 million liters of water a year.
Is this groundbreaking?
It is groundbreaking. I like your pun.
Absolutely.
But is this something that is actually normally done?
Not normally, no.
And why do you see this as a sustainable future growth for your company?
Absolutely. In fact, I see it as a sustainable future growth for a lot of real estate developers. Come 2030, when carbon credits come into effect and a lot of the laws change where builders now have to employ sustainable energy in their developments, you're going to see a lot more developers that are going to be jumping on this bandwagon, because otherwise they're going to be paying tax credits, carbon tax credits that are for buildings going to go through the roof. Let's face it. You want to talk about pollution? The development industry is the biggest polluter on the face of this planet.
That's right.
Not only in how we build.
Say
but
that
the-
again. Say that again.
the
Because that's
development-
controversy right
The
there.
development business and buildings in general. So let me back up. It's not just the development industry. It's the buildings that we produce. They're the biggest polluters on the planet.
Wow.
The carbon footprint of a building is way bigger than your car can emit in the lifetime of your car's life, really. So if you're a developer and you're not jumping on board, you're late to the game.
What, Joe, this is a very big deal. I wonder why energy saving techniques haven't been implemented, let's say 20 years ago.
Well, I think it's because, only recently we've been really focused on climate change, and how to really sustain ourselves on this planet and make sure that this planet continues to thrive and inhabit us for not our generation, but the next generation ahead of us, and so on. So I think this has become now a prominent and important aspect of everything and of our daily lives, is to ensure that we look after, the planet that we live in. I think it's a top goal for not only our industry, but many other industries.
Well, it is my job as a producer to establish that this is our inaugural first episode of Groundbreakers. And for the viewers that are now watching that are very excited, what are we going to give them moving forward in this podcast?
Well, we're going to debunk a lot of the
Misconceptions,
thank you, that people have about developers. Let's face it, at the core of it, the two of us are husbands and fathers. We're family men. We're business owners. We are for-profit business owners, no different than Heinz Ketchup or McDonald's or Starbucks. We're out to make money. We're out to support our families. But ultimately, the goal is to support our families. It's to give our kids a future. We're not just out there for the dollar. And the proof of that is in a lot of the technologies, a lot of the upscale materials that we're using in the building. For example, our standard material for flooring in our previous condo project was LVT, luxury vinyl tile. That is an upgrade in most projects, where most people are using laminate flooring, which is really just an MDF board or paper, really, that has a thin veneer on top that is meant to mimic wood, whereas we included standard LVT right across the board, where it's almost indestructible as a product. It is mold proof. It is water resistance up to 5 days of submersion. So if you've got a flood in that unit, really, you just rip it up and let it dry and then put it right back down.
But this increases the cost.
Absolutely. But it also increases our reputation as good builders.
So there are the technologies out there to enhance and improve the construction of things. It's all about how the developer, the builder, wants to take things further. So right now, you guys are in a position where you know what is by code, but you choose to up the ante. You choose to do better. Is that right?
Well, code is one thing, and using acceptable materials is another. So there's nothing unacceptable of using laminate flooring. It's been an industry standard forever. So has carpet. but we choose not to use those materials. We choose to use a higher end material, something that will last longer, something that looks better, something that will wear better.
I think the one thing, the takeaway for this episode as we draw to a close is carpeting. Why is that still a thing?
It's cheap.
Cheap and cheerful.
It's cheap. Now, listen, sales representatives will sell you on the comfort of carpeting. Yeah, it's comfortable on your feet. When you want to step out of your bed, do you want to step on a cold LVT tile or do you want to step on a warm carpet? But the reality is they're dirty. They hold a lot of bacteria.
Not very hygienic, for sure.
Like, listen, you got sweaty feet. You take your socks off at the end of the day and you're walking around in your carpet. That's all ending up in those fibers. There's no way.
How often are you really steam cleaning that carpet? Like,
I don't know. I steam clean my rugs quite often at home. I'm not going to lie.
So we've come to the point where there's a lot in store for our viewers and our listeners. Now the question is, if they needed to get a hold of you guys, where could they find you on all social media platforms, phone number, website, email? Let me hear it.
oneurban.ca is our website. oneurban.ca is our Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn handles. 416-741-4777. info@oneurban.ca.
you got it.
And we'll see you guys next time. Groundbreakers out, where dreams get real and bricks get laid. Until next time, happy building.
See you next time, guys.